Listen to your heart. Your heart is never wrong. Always face the truth. Your heart won't lead you home.
Welcome to Soul Wealth, wealthy conversations that nurture the soul. Get ready for an enlightening conversation that will nurture your soul and help you live your best life. Now, here's your host, Dr. Vicki Johnson.
Welcome to the Soul Wealth Radio Show. I am your host, Dr. Vicki Johnson. Super excited and grateful once again to be back on dcradio.gov and 96.3 HD4. I've had some amazing, wealthy conversations that nurture the soul, and today I get the privilege to have another conversation with my guest, who is the founder of Radiance Woman, a personal and spiritual development company focused on talent maximization, leadership enhancement, success mindset cultivation, and purpose discovery. Listen, for conscious women leaders. She is also the former Mrs. Maryland 2019. She has over 20 years experience in purpose and talent identification and potential maximization. She facilitates and designs workshops, training, and empowerment sessions for individuals and groups that accelerate business, leadership, and growth. As an internationally recognized speaker, conscious leadership consultant, and coach, she works with corporations, universities, and community-based organizations. She is an expert in helping teams and individuals live their influence through the discovery of their potential and authentic mission as she guides them to tap into their strengths and realize their greatness within. Those who work with her will learn to discover and maximize their talents and live their influence by aspiring to impact lives and identify with something greater than themselves. What is also amazing about my guest today is she is a talented artist and designer. Her Radiance jewelry is absolutely gorgeous. You all have to check it out. Her jewelry line helps conscious women leaders make a powerful statement in the world, as they are each a unique reflection of a woman's inner essence. Women who wear radiance experience walking in the power of their inner essence and make a statement that catches the attention of others wherever they go, and I am a witness to that. Finally, my guest has taken her impact to the government and private sectors as a federally certified woman-owned business through the launch of her new consulting company, Influence Consulting Group, a training and development company that inspires greatness within leaders and their team. She's also an amazing mom and wife and sister friend, and I believe a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. I don't mind sharing the airways. Welcome to the Soul Wealth Radio Show, Anna DeBose Hankins. How are you today?
I am so well, and it was so amazing, honestly, just to hear what it is that you're sharing, because I had to remind myself that you're speaking about me. You know, when you write out these bios or you look at them on your website, it's something else to have it read. So yeah. I appreciate that.
That's all you. And wow. I bear witness that it's true, it's real, it's authentic, and you are just a beautiful person.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I've been stalking you since we met. I'm just kidding, everybody. I'm just joking. We have a beautiful sistership and relationship, and I have been in the rooms to hear you speak, watch you work with other conscious women leaders, and just am mesmerized, Anna, by how you help women tap into their potential. It's really a powerful thing, and your daughters are witness. They are evidence, is a better word of that.
Thank you.
And, I'm also blessed by watching, how your husband supports who you are and what you do. So share with us who and what inspires you. Anna inspires.
Yes, Anna Inspires is actually how I started out as a motivational speaker and writer. And honestly, what inspires me is my spiritual connection with God and really feeling as if I'm here to be a divine conduit for whatever it is that is shared. You know that, and I know you are as well, highly intuitive and have this ability to sense others. I like to call it being able to see beneath the surface of others and being able to literally, I feel like God has given me this gift to be able to identify the potential within others, oftentimes before they even recognize it within themselves. And then to be able to literally just get divine downloads on how to maximize that potential, because the potential is given for us to have the impact that we're here to make and for God to have that impact through us, through expansion, through that potential.
Yeah, I remember the day we met. I remember it like it was yesterday. I believe it was at Nicole Mason's conference.
Nicole.
And shout out Nicole Mason and Show Up Great. It was at her Show Up Great conference, I believe, in College Park, Maryland. And I heard you speak, and it was just something about your energy. But then when I met your daughter,
Talia.
I was like, who is this child? And then when I made the connection that you were her mother, like it was like we had known each other forever. Like there had never been a time. In that moment, there had never been a time that I did not know you. And in that moment, I knew, oh, we're going to be in relationship. We're going to work together. Like we are the same. It was really, really a powerful moment. And how did you get here? Right? Have you always known this about yourself? Share with us what has been one or two of your greatest lessons that have caused you to pivot in your life.
I would say that recognizing the gift. I remember coming out of the girls' restroom. I think I was in middle school. And there was a girl who was standing at the sink. And I just said, it's going to be okay. And as I felt her, I sensed her, and I just said, it's going to be okay. And she looked at me and she said, I didn't say anything. How did you know? And just having that awareness, I think early on, of knowing that I had this gift to sense others and be able to serve and to help them. And when my mom passed away, right before, like 2 weeks before my high school graduation, and I didn't know my father, so she was really like the base, right, of strength. I realized the resiliency that was within me, and realizing that I was financially on my own at that point, and going into college and almost flunking out my freshman year. But God had other plans and placed people around me to uplift me, to encourage me. And I thought, oh my gosh, as I look back over the course of my life, there have been moments that God has placed people around me, has reminded me of my strength. Even today, I'm reminded of that strength by someone amazing who I've met today, who is someone who also sees beneath the surface of situations and is able to speak into the truth of what's happening. So I think when I think about the defining moments, it's oftentimes been around resiliency. It's been around accepting the gift, and we all have gifts, right? And so I know that I'm here to inspire the greatness within others. And so there have been moments that God has called me to inspire the greatness within myself, to step forward so I could be that leader to inspire the greatness within others.
I know you shared so vulnerably, thank you, that, your mom passed away right before you graduated from high school. I know that changed you, right? What has been another defining moment for you?
Well, honestly, the birth, I have two amazingly precious girls who are just my heart, as you know. And the birth of my second daughter, Talia, in particular, she and I were in the hospital room, and she was 2 days old. And she was in the little bassinet. It was glass. It was see-through. And she has big brown eyes. And she was just staring at me really intently. And I felt this, well, I felt connected to her right from the beginning, but there was a shudder that went through me. And God directly said, she is a leader. Her path is a great one. And it was this weight of responsibility as the mom, of this amazing young person, this little light that was a big, bright light. And you've seen her in person. You've witnessed what she does. She is a magnet for people. I will speak at conferences, and I will go to the back of the room, and she has a circle of women around her.
Like she got finished speaking.
Yeah, exactly. She is that kind of person, and she is a natural inspirer and motivator of others. And she is so, I love both of my daughters, but I have to say that, when you have someone who is so close to you, and now that she's 14, she has said, Mom, who needs a boyfriend when I have a mom like you? She said, you know me so well. I love you so much. I feel like you're just my best friend.
An old lady.
She is an old soul.
Oh my goodness, that is so sweet. What are you grateful for, Anna?
So grateful. Well, just looking at you and this beautiful spirit, because I see spirit. I see beyond the physical, which obviously you're gorgeous, but
Thank you.
you have this amazing radiant light, and you are one of the very few people, I would say out of 1 to 2 people in my lifetime, that when you speak and you suggest something or do something, because I tend to listen to my intuition, but if you suggest something, it's like when E.F. Hutton speaks. Remember the E.F. Hutton commercial?
I do.
Like, okay, whatever she says, whatever she says, I'm going to do, because I have witnessed time and time again. You're here, you're a physical being, but your spirit is so powerful. And you are literally such a powerful conduit that I have seen people's lives transformed and changed by the fact that you are simply yourself and you allow it to flow through you in such a powerful way. And I am honored every time that I have an opportunity to witness it, and so honored to just be in connection with you. It's we'll text each other, and I feel you, right? I feel your spirit. I listen, I feel your spirit when we're speaking, anytime that, even over the airwaves or, certainly in person. And so you've had such an amazing, profound effect. It is so wonderful to come into the world when you have gifts that are not always necessarily recognized, by others, and to be able to have that connection with you, like, hey, I think we call, sometimes we nickname each other self.
Yeah.
Well, hello, self.
We have done that.
Yeah.
That was not a paid endorsement, y'all. Like, we're just having a moment here. Talk about your beautiful jewelry, Anna. Like, it is breathtaking. When did you start making this unique jewelry? How did you know what to do? And I get that you're intuitive and spiritually gifted, but your jewelry really is radiant. It really is. And every woman, like, I know your jewelry.
Thank you.
And I don't think I've seen any two alike, but when I see someone wearing your jewelry, I'm like, that's Anna. That's radiant. That's Radiance jewelry right there. So where did that come from? What gave you the courage to launch out and not only create your jewelry, but sell it. Some people have an idea, are very creative, and they're like, oh, this is for me. But I know it's part of your purpose, but share, how did you get to this place where you're making this beautiful jewelry?
Well, I would say maybe about 5 years ago, I had experimented with creating a piece that I had worn to an art reception. I'm also an artist, and I had some paintings that were in a charity event. And I wore this piece. It wasn't called Radiance back then. I just knew that it was something I felt. I literally had this download to create this piece and to wear it. And when I was at the event, I was shocked at how many people came up to me. Where did you get that piece? Are you selling this? How would I get one? And I felt a tad overwhelmed, actually, because I wasn't expecting that. I had really created it for me, right? And then I wasn't quite sure how to handle that back then. This is maybe no more like, I would say 7 years ago, actually. And so a few years later, I was in my own art reception. It was a solo art reception. And I said, I couldn't find that piece. And so God was like, create another one. And so during that time, I was in my studio and I created 5 more.
Wow.
And I wore, and then I knew the name came to me when I created it. It was Radiance. And it's not just jewelry. It is a reflection of your essence within as a woman. It is light. It is purpose. It is the actual essence of who you are. And wanting women to absolutely see how beautiful they are on the inside, to really step into the power of who they are. And so I began naming each of the pieces for the essence they evoked. And so as the pieces began selling, I literally couldn't make them fast enough. And because women really resonate with that message, and being able to create pieces for women that reflect their essence in the world and help them, really walk in the power of that, is a very powerful. It's a powerful feeling. And each piece on the outside is adorned with 23 karat pure gold and Austrian Swarovski crystals to remind us of our incomparable value as women. Because I want you to walk in the power of who you are.
I mean, it's beautiful. Like, I want that piece on your neck right now. You can leave that. Yes, I want that right now. How can our listeners find that? How can they contact you if they want to look at your jewelry? I'm telling you all, it's exquisite is the word.
Thank you.
It is beautiful. How can they get more information about your jewelry?
So they can actually go to radiance.boutique, BOUTIQUE, and at radiance.boutique, it shares more about the story of radiance, what it means. And I will say that each piece comes with a signed certificate of authenticity to indicate that this is a one-of-a-kind piece. And it also comes presented in a black velvet bag because presentation is so important. And when you're presenting a woman with her essence, I want it to be an experience for her. And I have a lot of women who have the desire to have different aspects of their essence reflected. Some women have more than one piece often. And I take women through what's called the Radiance Consult Experience, where for those who want to custom design their radiance and their essence reflected in the world, then I take them through the experience of having them actually describe their essence and walk through the experience of creating that. And so, Radiance.boutique.
Girl, you should see the way I'm looking at your neck right now.
I also have a Facebook page, The Radiance Jewelry. I should say that.
That's wonderful. I just love you, Anna, and who you are and the impact that you're leaving. And to watch you work a room, like, leaves me speechless. When you've come to Soul Sun and Spa and you share, the ladies just love you. And watching you tap into the flow that's in the room and the transformation that takes place. Talk about your latest venture, Influence Consulting Group, which is amazing. When did you start that? Congratulations on your certification so
Oh,
far.
thank you.
But it's a natural evolution. It is a great progression for you. When did you start that? Talk about that and what you do and how you're making a difference.
Thank you. So, Influence Consulting Group came out of the concept of this tagline, which I feel is also a part of my purpose, is to help leaders and organizations live their influence in the world. And that's all about making an impact. And so, Influence Consulting Group is a training and development company that works with leaders and their organizations to really not only inspire the greatness within leaders, but to help companies and government sector agencies have a larger impact by understanding how to tap into the potential of their team members, understanding how to become more effective leaders, understanding how you can take a concept and be able to teach it in a way that really allows others to really take it in. And it really came out of the desire to create a conscious consulting company that would have a global impact, that would have a global footprint, and really desiring to take my experience in maximizing potential with leaders and teams, and as both a speaker and a trainer, and just take it to a larger level. I really wanted to have an impact of one to many. And now as a leadership coach, and now I have the ability to hire consultants and bring specialists on under the Influence Consulting Group who are specialists in their field, who can really then maximize the impact of organizations and their teams through their specialty. So it's really also creating a platform for other specialists to come in so that they can get exposure, so that they can also utilize their gifts and be able to share them with organizations and their leaders.
That's phenomenal. We certainly need more conscious leadership. And you're a woman, so you are drawn to other conscious women who are in leadership. Talk about, as we're winding down here, what is a conscious woman?
A conscious woman is someone who is in tune, is aware of not only herself, but is aware of the fact that she's here for a bigger purpose. A conscious woman is someone who, there are certain traits. I've studied this field for many years, and so I would say that there are certain traits that often come with conscious women. And
like what?
So conscious women tend to be thoughtful by nature. There's kind of an innate wiring that comes with conscious women. They tend to be sensitive to the needs of others, to the pain of others. They tend to be drawn to wanting to serve. Really, it's always coming from a heart of serving. And so they tend to go into certain fields, whether it's service-based fields, educators, physicians, speakers, coaches, artists, creatives, those who are sensitive in nature, who are able to have this need that is greater than themselves to serve and to impact. A conscious woman is someone who is willing to really tap into her vulnerability. And sometimes as a leader, if you have those that you're leading, it can be a little tough. And so that's why I've worked with leaders personally, more kind of an advisory capacity, because I do understand that you're pouring into others as a leader. And how often do you have others pouring into you?
That's awesome. So, quick question before I ask you my last question. If a woman doesn't know if she's conscious or not, name a thing or two that can help her identify, well, maybe I am conscious.
So,
or I want to be conscious.
Absolutely.
And quickly address, the thin line between being conscious and not being an overgiver.
Yes, absolutely. So for those who are interested in learning whether or not they are conscious, the terminology happens to change depending on the arena you're in. So it's a fine line really between the terminology. So really the psychologist who really started this field of work her name is Dr. Elaine Aron, and she wrote the book, The Highly Sensitive Person.
Okay.
And so if you go onto her website, she has a quiz that you can take to identify just how sensitive you are. But a lot of times sensitivity is not always seen, it has not been seen as a strength. And so, and the leaders I work with have tended to identify more with the word conscious because it seems to be more corporate friendly, right? But really in reality, a lot of those same traits are the traits of a highly sensitive person. So I would suggest to go there. I'm also writing a book this year.
It's about time.
It's about time.
Yeah.
On conscious leadership and especially how it applies to women. So I would say go that route, and I'll be sharing my book as it comes out. So, and really going around and speaking on this. I've on LinkedIn. I think you've seen my posts that I'm really passionate about women leaders especially. So the way to step out of being an overgiver is to monitor. Really tune in to your mind, your body, and your spirit. If you are feeling depleted, you are absolutely overgiving. If you are not sleeping properly and you are staying up and you're pushing to get things done, you're overgiving. If you are finding that you actually, even in hiding, right, for yourself, you put everything else on the back burner for yourself, but yet you're giving everything to everyone else, you're absolutely overgiving.
That's so good. I share, our capacity is for us. Our overflow is the place from which we serve others, right? Strength is for service, not status. And your service should not deplete you.
Absolutely.
You should not be exhausted. Anna, thank you so much for being here with me on the Soul Wealth Radio Show. We're winding down. You have an amazing legacy. And how can our listeners connect with you to get jewelry, to perhaps work with influence consulting, or to, purchase your book, or just follow you on social media? How can our listeners find you?
Yeah, so as far as my jewelry is concerned, radiance.boutique is the website, and the Facebook page for Radiance Jewelry is The Radiance Jewelry. And as far as with my consulting, for personal consulting, personal coaching, certainly I have my Radiance Woman brand, but my focus is really moving forward is going to be on Influence Consulting Group, which is influenceconsultinggroup.com. And there you can learn more about my speaking services, training, development.
Thank you, Anna DeBose Hankins,
So good to see
for
you.
being my guest here on the Soul Wealth Radio Show. I am your host, Dr. Vicki Johnson. Thank you once again for listening to the Soul Wealth Radio Show here on dcradio.gov 96.3 HD4. You can also get my latest book, Soul Wealth, Finding Vision, Compassion, Authenticity, Abundance, and Legacy in the Midst of Chaos via my website, which is VickiJohnson.com. That's VIKKI Johnson.com. Listen, everyone, soul wealth is your birthright. So go out, live full, so you can die empty. Until next time, peace.
You've been listening to Soul Wealth, wealthy conversations that nurture the soul with Dr. Vicki Johnson. Soul Wealth is not just a brand, it's a lifestyle of vision, compassion, authenticity, abundance, and legacy created one conversation, one choice at a time. For more information, visit VickiJohnson.com or click on Soul Wealth at dcradio.gov.